This is CBS 11 News Now.
It is News Now, our digital update. I'm Dan Haggerty. Hello, Facebook. Thanks for joining us, hanging out with us for a little bit. We'll talk about some top stories, including what's going on in Washington, D.C. and across the country, really, tomorrow. Students from all over are going to be marching in our nation's capital. They're going to be bringing awareness about school shootings and gun control legislation. The people at the center of this, the students from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, the shooting happened in Florida. They left for the nation's capital yesterday. There are protests planned here in North Texas as well. That includes a march at Dallas City Hall. That starts at 1 o'clock tomorrow, a 10 o'clock march at the Tarrant County Courthouse, and a 10 o'clock march at the Collin County Courthouse. Our reporters from CBS 11 here are going to be down there. We're going to have complete coverage of these marches happening in North Texas and the rest of the nation. Our coverage will start during our 11 a.m. newscast tomorrow. Now, this morning, we're getting a little bit of word that there are going to be no charges against the two roommates who live with that suspected bomber in Austin. Police say both of those roommates have been interviewed at this point. They've been released. The ATF is down there. They wrapped up their investigation at the home in Pflugerville where Mark Condit lived. We noticed at one point that they took two cars away. They were towed away that were parked in front of that home. Not sure how significant those were, but police say that 23-year-old Mark Condit, you see him there, he made 7 explosives. All 7, they say, have been accounted for, including the ones that were sent out a little earlier this month. They killed 2 people, injured more, and the one that he used to kill himself early Wednesday morning. We caught up with a neighbor who talked a little bit about what it was like living next door to Condit. Oh, we don't have that. Okay, well, I can tell you, I listened to it a little earlier. She basically said that they would be in the backyard, they would have cookouts, that they would be right next to that home, and that they were very nervous afterward learning what was going on inside of there because we were doing that coverage and the ATF was going in. They were sending in bomb-sniffing dogs. They weren't sure what was going to be in that house, and they did, in fact, find bomb-building materials. So if you have families and you're living next door to that sort of thing. Sure. Yeah. Also, there was that 25-minute tape confession on his phone. Condit talked about his personal problems. He never listed a motive, though. And, you know, that's one thing that people were so curious about.
I just want to know why.
When someone does something that crazy, that no one can relate to in their mind, they want to know, how did you get there? Even though most of the time when you do get a motive from a person like that, it never really makes sense anyhow.
That's
so maybe it's for the better that we don't get any more from his mind to begin with. So we're talking about some weather. Man, it's been beautiful lately.
Really nice.
This weekend.
This week, the whole week's been great.
And I know the wind doesn't do great for people's allergies, but when you're talking like 80s, the wind kind of mellows it a little bit, so you don't feel that it's as hot. Yeah, so it kind of makes it perfect.
Right. Yeah. If you were on a beach, it would be even better. We don't have a beach.
We have any beaches here?
No. No beaches, but, you know.
Backyard pool, maybe?
Maybe so. Maybe so. Today is going to be windy and, yeah, still very warm. We're going to be in the mid-80s later on today. The clouds have kind of invaded the skies this morning, so it's not a pretty-looking day so far, but those clouds will kind of be in and out. We'll see partly cloudy skies today, and with a little bit of sunshine this afternoon, we're going to make it up into the mid-80s. South winds up to 30 miles per hour, and so those temperatures are actually about 15 degrees above normal for this time of year. We're dry today, we're dry tomorrow. I want to point out Sunday that we have an isolated severe thunderstorm in the forecast, mainly along and west of I-35. The timing of this is going to be Sunday afternoon. Now, it looks like a large area. You see that green color, you think, well, the whole area is going to get severe weather. No, what that is just an area where a few thunderstorms could turn strong or severe, and the stronger ones will have golf ball-sized hail. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on that through the weekend. Storm chances are low Sunday and Monday, but we're still watching for really high rain chances coming up by the middle of next week. Specifically, Tuesday and Wednesday look very stormy around here with temperatures that will be cooling down a bit by the end of next week.
Rain's been so feast or famine lately. You know, we get like a week of rain and then a week of perfect and then another week of rain. Now, I'm looking at your forecast and I'm wondering, is it too far out to think about Easter? I got family coming in.
Yeah, and right now it looks like by the end of next week we dry out.
That's
so
good.
Next week from today is Good Friday, obviously, and then Easter, and it looks like it's going to be dry. Cooler, but I think not bad at all for everyone who has plans.
Yeah, you know, my family, and I know a lot of other people have family who live up in like the Northeast, where they're getting just hammered
Terrible
with
week.
like their 15th snowstorm in the past like 14 days.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been crazy. So I think they can't wait to come down here and be
Good,
part of
yeah,
this. And this next story kind of lends to that a little bit. If you do feel like North Texas has been a little bit more crowded lately, it is not your imagination. According to the Census Bureau, they say that North Texas is the fastest growing metropolitan area in the country. Do you believe that?
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either,
No.
with the amount of industry that happens here.
The real estate market's
and really,
crazy.
I've been here for almost 3 years now, and I've lived all over the country, and this is up there with one of my favorite places in the country to live. So people are moving for the right reasons. It increased 146,000 people last year alone. At this point, 7.4 million people live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's more population than 38 of the 50 states.
That's a great perspective there.
Yeah, really. But hey, other than the traffic at times, what else is there to complain about it, if you ask me? I mean, we can get a little severe weather. Weather gets a little insane sometimes.
Weather gets a little, yeah, I think a lot of people like living here. First of all, the people make it great. I mean, the people here are friendly. Yeah. Now, I'm probably a little biased since I'm from here, but that's what I hear too. But it's interesting because there isn't really a whole lot, and I'm probably going to get in trouble here, but in the Metroplex, there's not a whole lot of aesthetically pleasing things. You know, it's pretty metropolitan, but we have a major airport, so you can go almost anywhere in the world from DFW.
Yeah, I think, well, people who don't know the area very well, I think from a glance, they would say, well, you don't have any beaches.
Right.
You know, you got some lakes, but you don't really have any beaches, and it's pretty flat. You know, where are your mountains? Where's your scenery? But I think the culture here and the people here make up for that. You forget about it. And even though there are parts that may not be aesthetically pleasing, there might not be a lot of like old infrastructure like you would find in the Northeast and stuff like that. I like the way it's laid out, man.
Well, and you got Texas itself, which is so, I mean, you can go to the coast, which is its own culture and its own view, and then you can go to mountains in West Texas. And yeah, there's a lot in the state that you can enjoy within a couple hours drive.
And while you have been blessed enough to be able to work kind of in your hometown your whole life, I have traveled all over the country, from Pittsburgh, PA, to Cleveland, Ohio, to Fort Myers, Florida, to North Carolina, to out to California. And one of the things that I love about living in different cities is when, if you were to close your eyes, I'd blindfold you and drop you off somewhere, would you know where you are? And I think if you drop somebody off in Texas, they'd look around for 1 second and go, I'm in Texas.
Yeah.
And
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So it's a good place to be. Thanks for being here with us on Facebook Live. We appreciate you as always. We're going to be back on air at on CBS 11 at 11. In the meantime, you can see us for another news update on Facebook at noon. See you then.